The last race to decide the championship for all three series begins finally here at Martinsville. And we're starting off Friday night with the truck series. We got Lane Riggs on pole, and no other driver but Corey Heim is mathematically safe to advance to the next round at Phoenix. So every point is going to matter in both stages and at the end of the night. Riggs takes the early lead, and all 8 playoff drivers are in the top 10, ensuring that every single point is going to matter. 2 quick cautions keeps the leaders really tight together, but on the lap 30 restart, Lane Riggs misses a shift and stacks up the entire inside line, handing the lead to Ty Majeski. Majeski does battle it out with Corey Heim for the lead in the closing laps, and ultimately Heim, the dominant guy of the year, takes the stage 1 win. That is his 20th stage win of the year. He already has 10 race wins, just absolutely dominating and looking to put a marker on the end of the season next week. Raja Caruth does get taken out by Caden Honeycutt later on in stage 2 by cutting his left rear tire down, sending the 71 truck into the wall, and that pretty much ends Raja's 2025 bid for a championship. His plans next year are a little set in stone. He's going to be racing part-time for JRM in the Xfinity Series, but he does not yet have a full-time effort, so hopefully something comes of this offseason for him. The rest of the stage 2, though, does go green, and nobody challenges Corey Heim, and it gives him his 21st now stage win of the season. We'll see if he stacks that up next week. Pit strategy shuffles the front order finally in stage number 3. We've got Gio Ruggiero taking the lead, and he leads for a good amount of the way, but with a restart with 50 laps to go, brings the playoff drivers further from the back up to the front. And the intensity is ratcheting up through the entire field as more restarts take place. And eventually, Daniel Hemrick has to park his truck through too much damage. He is also out of the championship hunt. But it is chaos up front and through the field all night. Trucks are just banging off each other left and right. There's a lot of bent sheet metal, a lot of hurt feelings, and there'll be more of that to come in the next few races. A restart with 15 laps to go sees Brant Cruz in the number 1 car duking it out with Corey Heim for the lead until yet another caution falls. 10 laps to go now. Heim sends it into the lead with Caden Honeycutt falling behind him in second, but a big crash with 5 laps to go sets up an overtime finish on the restart. Now it is anybody's game to get to the championship round. But they have to get past Corey Heim, and if the season has told us anything, you don't get around Corey Heim. He takes the lead on the restarts, and all eyes are now on the cutoff line as potential for a tie is now in the books. Corey Heim takes his 11th win of the year, but in fact, we do have a dead tie for the cutoff line at the end of the race. 4 drivers were within 2 points of each other at the end of this race. That is how close this round was. And advancing to the championship 4 are the aforementioned Corey Heim. Ty Majeski makes his way in. Tyler Anker makes his way in. And while he had the 2nd most wins of the season, Lane Riggs in that 38 Front Row Motorsports truck loses the tiebreaker to Caden Honeycutt just because Caden finished 2nd in this round. Say what you will about the playoffs. Sometimes it works with you, sometimes it works against you, and sometimes a deserving driver just doesn't make it to where they need to be. Such was the case with Lane Riggs this year. Yeah, he really didn't have anything for Corey Heim. Nobody's expecting anybody to beat Corey next week, but it sucks that you don't even have a shot at it when you were arguably the one guy who could challenge him. That's it for Friday night. Saturday, the Xfinity Series. We've got a non-chaser on pole with Harrison Burton, and he's sitting alongside someone who is in the playoffs, Carson Voppel, in the 1 car. And as the Xfinity Series now looks to set up their final four for the championship. Now, this race is run completely at night. And in Virginia this past weekend, it was very cold, so the tires are extra slick, and there was plenty of sliding doors into each other and a lot more bent sheet metal, but it's some good hard racing throughout the race regardless. A caution on lap 30 sees Brendan Queen, otherwise known as Butterbean, lead for a good short while on the ensuing restart, and he holds it for a solid amount of laps, but a caution with only 15 laps to go on the stage brings the field back to his rear bumper. And while he fought very hard on the restart, he ultimately did lose the lead to Sam Mayer and Justin Allgaier, with Allgaier ending up passing Mayer for the stage lead and ultimately the win, claiming those very precious 10 points that he desperately needs. Allgaier stays up front to lead in stage number 2 as the field sorts out behind him. A late caution sees the pit strategy flip, sending Karsten Voppel, who was back in the field, up into the lead and winning the stage, with Butterbean finishing in second place after finishing third in stage 1. So good on Brandon for that one. He's going to be fun to watch in the Truck Series next year for sure. New leader up front for stage 3. We've got Sam Mayer in the 41 car, also looking to win his way into the championship 4. And the contact continues throughout the entire rest of this stage. Even teammates are not immune from getting smashed by another teammate. And there's a lot of bent sheet metal and even more hurt feelings, as we'll see on later on in this race. Even post-race, there was a lot of spin-outs after the checkered flag falls. It was chaotic here at the Xfinity Series. Usually is. Mayer's up front, but eventually Eric Almirola in that 19 car catches him and passes him. But Taylor Gray in the 54, his teammate, also follows suit and is now trying to challenge Eric for the lead. But a big wreck with a little over 50 laps to go takes a Butterbean, unfortunately. And now Nick Sanchez in the 48 car leads the race with a little bit of tire strategy. He stays out, but because he's on old tires, he creates a massive logjam that sends several playoff drivers further back in the field and completely jacking up the entire point standings, coming to that down to the end of the race. Restart with 25 laps to go sees Gray fire off, passed into the lead, but a spin by Karsten Voppel brings another yellow back out. This guy could not catch a break, and he keeps getting shifted further and further back in the field. And remember, he is not safe on points right now. And now he is going to have to work hard to dig his way out. A lot like Ross Chastain had to do. Spoiler warning for the last couple laps. 17 laps to go. Gray gets another great restart as the must-wins chase him down. But another late caution brought out by Daniel Dye sets up an overtime finish. There were 11 cautions in this race, by the way. 11. Taylor Gray gets the lead on the restart, and he holds off Sammy Smith to win his first career race. Little too late for the championship, and unfortunately that has bit Sammy Smith as well. That second place finish not good enough to advance to the championship 4. He fails to advance alongside both Brandon Jones and also Sam Mayer in the 41 and Sheldon Creed in the 00, who wasn't really a factor all tonight. So that means for the championship 4 next week, we've got the favorite Connor Zilisch, the Corey Heim of the Xfinity Series this season. He's got 10 wins, easily the favorite next week. Justin Allgaier, defending champion in the 7 car. Karsten Voppel passed like 6 cars on the last lap, just like Chastain did, and he pointed his way into the next round as well. And then we also got Jesse Love representing Richard Childress Racing. Chevy showed up to play this year. They've got 4 cars in the championship 4. 3 of them for JR Motorsports and 1 for the aforementioned Richard Childress. And it's going to be a fun race to watch next week. Zilisch is clearly the favorite, but you can never take anything for granted with the Xfinity Series. But we'll see. That leads us to Sunday afternoon. Daytime racing, Martinsville, round of 8 finale. We've got William Byron in the 24 car on pole. That's a sight not unfamiliar to most of us. And he is in a must-win position alongside Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, and Joey Logano. They are way too far back to point their way in. The winner takes all here. Byron takes an early lead, and the cool weather sees more slippery Goodyear tires, and an early caution brings everybody down pit road for 4 fresh tires because they are going to be needed today. And we see why on the very next restart. Michael McDowell actually takes the lead away by only taking 2 tires, but Byron goes around the outside of him with that extra grip and just blows the doors off McDowell after the first lap and sets sail to win stage number 1. Byron absolutely dominated this stage. Led over 130 laps, and he needed to maximize stage points today if at all possible. Unfortunately, most of the top 10 was also brought up by playoff drivers, so they really minimized all the point gain he made. Of the bottom 4, he did have the best shot to mathematically point his way in if things fell his way, but getting Kyle Larson and Christopher Bell to wreck out at Martinsville is just too tall of an order. Stage 2 gets underway, and Byron pulls away until a caution comes out via Carson Hocevar in that 77 car. This will not be the last time we talk about Carson today, so get ready for that. The 24 car holds on to the lead on the restart, but a loose 41 car brings out the yellow once more. 24 car retains the lead through yet another restart, and this time he does keep it through some green flag racing to win stage number 2, but again his point gain is minimized by Larson and Bell, who actually finished second and third behind him. So now there is no more extra points to be gained. You have to win to get in, and that's exactly what Ryan Blaney decides he wants to do, because in stage number 3 pit strategy sees him take the lead away, and Byron is now shuffled back into just barely inside the top 10. It is now a fight for Willie to get back up front with a dominant 12 car. And just a little extra note, Blaney has won the last 2 fall Martinsville races to lock himself into the championship, and he's looking to 3P today, and his long run speed is keeping everybody else at bay. Nearing lap 300, we've got some interesting chase implications. Chase Briscoe, winner of last week's race at Talladega, blows an engine. And a mere 40 laps later, his teammate Denny Hamlin also blows an engine. Now, they both have won the races in this round. They are both locked into Phoenix. But this is not great. They have another teammate, the 20 car, trying to get in. So now his engine is now a mystery whether it's going to last the race or not. And this is also the same engine they're going to be running next week at Phoenix. If this was their place to test an engine package, it didn't turn out well for them. So next week is going to be interesting to watch with the Gibbs cars. Blaney continues to lead through some single car incidents, including another spin by the 77. Yeah, go figure. He got a lot of help today. I think a lot of people were just done with him being in the way. Blaney gets another great restart afterwards, but with just 100 laps to go, but Byron stays close behind him, and this time Byron is finally able to get back to Blaney. He has been clawing his way through the top 10 and is now within striking distance. And in fact, he does strike Blaney, doors him on the inside in turns 1 and 2, and just completely drives right past him and doesn't let Blaney get back to his rear bumper, because that bump at this type of racetrack usually results in one coming back right at you. So Byron takes the lead away and is pulling away. Looks to be a lock-in for the race win. And then who else but Carson Hocevar spins again for the 3rd time today, bringing out the caution once more. Not happy about it at all. Everybody comes down to pit road for 4 tires, and the 24 pit crew, they answer the challenge, keeping the race lead just barely over the 12th car. And a restart with 10 laps to go, Byron holds Blaney off the corner and runs away from the field and never has to look back. He has redeemed himself in the round of 8 by winning his 3rd grandfather clock and locking himself into the championship race next week. This was a fun race weekend for sure. All 3 series had a lot of action, a lot of drama, and a lot of questions. But thankfully, there wasn't so much drama this year as to worry about race manipulation like in years past. A couple hurt feelings here and there, but that's just normal short track racing. So the championship for the Cup Series next week. Byron obviously advances. Denny Hamlin, Chase Briscoe, and Kyle Larson only by a few points sneaks his way in. And that's it for Martinsville Speedway. Next weekend, championship weekend at Phoenix. I hope everybody's looking forward to it. And I'll catch y'all next time. Hope y'all have a good one.